And we're live.
We all heard that, McCall.
How to get Bill.
Here we go. Are you ready for show?
Good morning, and welcome to the Chief Petty Officer pinning ceremony. We will begin momentarily. I am Chief Nikki Reynolds, and I was this year's coordinator, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today's event.
Good morning. I am Chief Aaron Cody, co-coordinator for today's ceremony.
We request at this time that you turn off or silence all cell phones and electronic devices. For virtual participants, please mute your microphone. Please feel free to take pictures at any time. All Chief Petty Officers, past and present, please remain covered for the duration of the ceremony.
Chief Select, front and center.
Attention to the Sailor's Creed.
I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all.
Chief Select, boat ready, rest.
Good morning, Admiral Noel, Admiral Kozad, McPon Smith, commanding officers, executive officers, fellow chiefs, shipmates, special guests, family, and friends. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you here today to witness a Navy tradition that has been performed for over 100 years. You will not just witness the advancement of a first-class petty officer to the next higher pay grade, but you will also share in the most significant transition that she will ever make in her Navy career. The United States Navy is richly steeped in traditions and ceremonies, most of which are unique only to the Navy and no other armed force of the United States. But unlike other branches of the military, there are ceremonies for many events, including retirement from service, change of command, ship commissioning, and graduation from recruit training. The pinning ceremony for new Chief Petty Officers is one of those unique ceremonies. Today you will witness a promotion ceremony where a sailor recently selected to the rank of Chief Petty Officer is pinned with the insignia of her new rank. I would like to introduce the Commanding Officer of CNET E. Lemoore, Commander Rumley, who will present the promotion letter and award.
Chief Select, attention, left face, attention to award. This is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal to Aviation Ordnanceman First Class, Aviation Warfare, Kimber and Dominguez, United States Navy, for meritorious service while serving as Learning Management Officer, Departmental Leading Petty Officer at the Center for Naval Aviation Technical Training Unit, Lemoore, California, from October 2019 through September 2019. Petty Officer Dominguez's phenomenal leadership of 92 instructors resulted in the brilliant management of 58 courses and delivery of 54,936 hours of quality instruction to 3,462 students. Additionally, as Command Career Counselor and Master Training Specialist Coordinator, she executed 52 career development boards, captured the fiscal year 2018 Retention Excellence Award, and elevated the MTS designation levels to 73%. Her efforts led to her selection as the fiscal year 2019 Navy Shore Sailor of the Year. Petty Officer Dominguez's unswerving determination, wise judgment, and complete dedication to duty reflected credit upon herself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the Secretary of the Navy, A.S. Halphill, Director of Navy Staff. Certificate of Appointment. To all who shall see these presents greetings, know ye that by the authority vested in me and reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Kimber and Dominguez, I do hereby appoint you to the rank of Chief Aviation Ordnanceman, Aviation Warfare in the United States Navy. To the rank of such from 16th day of May 2020. Your appointment carries with it the obligation that you exercise increased authority and willingness to accept greater responsibility. Your every action must be governed by a strong sense of personal moral responsibility and leadership. You will observe and follow such orders as may be given by superiors acting according to the rules, articles, and provisions of the United States Navy Regulations, General Orders, Uniform Code of Military Justice, and supporting orders and directives. Given under my hand this day, 16th day of May, the year of our Lord, 2020, M. Gillum, Admiral, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Operations. Select B, right face.
I would like to introduce the Chief of Naval Personnel, Vice Admiral John Noel.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to see you. And Chief Dominguez, I would much rather be there than here. But I just have to tell you what a treat it is to be with you. And if I could ask Chief Dominguez, how about you stand at ease? That might be a little more comfortable. So I just have to tell you, whether you're there personally, whether you're together virtually, what an exciting event. Since we talked, Chief Dominguez, I have so been looking forward to this. And I know that you have too, as well as your family. And although we're not able to recognize you or your family traditionally, as we look at this COVID environment, again, I'm just thrilled to be here, and I appreciate the honor of being here with you. And as many of the folks know that are here with us, great to see Big Pond on the screen. I know Admiral Kozak, Force Gold, Fleet Koshoffer here, 6 feet to my left. It really is one of my greatest pleasures and one of my favorite things to do, which is to recognize an outstanding sailor. And indeed one, as we look at the My Navy HR enterprise, that has just really, really shown. It's an opportunity for us to recognize you as we promote you to the rank of Chief Petty Officer, and having looked so closely at your record, having talked to you a couple of times, it is well earned and well deserved. I want to share, though, with the group just a little bit of your background, Chief Dominguez, because I think it demonstrates the caliber of sailor that we have in the enterprise, but that we're now promoting a Chief Petty Officer. And the stats are pretty incredible. Each year, over 8,000 first-class petty officers compete to be the Sailor of the Year candidate for our 3 pillar leagues of My Navy HR. This year's Sailor of the Year competition had some of the most qualified and talented nominees that the selection board has seen. So being a nominee for a pillar is an accomplishment in and of itself, and incredibly proud, and an incredibly proud accomplishment for you. Now, after representing the force development pillar, then Petty Officer Dominguez was subsequently recommended and selected by the My Navy HR board to be My Navy HR Sailor of the Year. This accomplishment entered her into the final competition for the overall OPNAV FY19 Shore Sailor of the Year, where she was picked and chosen to be meritoriously promoted to Chief Petty Officer. So that's why we're all here together. That's why we get to experience this special moment today. As I mentioned, Chief Select Dominguez truly impressed me during the selection process. I wasn't surprised at all to hear that she rose to the top of the competition at the Navy wide level. And I continue to be impressed with her and the outstanding work that she has accomplished, not only for the My Navy HR team, but for the Navy as well. And you know, there are so many other leaders, many of them represented here, Chief Select Dominguez, who had that very same thought. Fleet Koshofer certainly, MidCon and Force School, all engaged me directly to talk about you. But I will just tell you that one of the other old salts that's in on this virtual ceremony is Admiral Kozak, your FD pillar lead. And I will just tell you that I could hear and see him beaming over the phone when he talked about you. He extolled you as a strong leader, a technical expert, incredibly involved in both your community as well as your command. And he highlighted the fact that above all that, you're humble in every respect. Servant leadership, that's what really makes our Navy great. And that's what makes the Chief's Mess special. So I just have to tell you, of course, then Admiral Kozak said, it's sailors like you that make him want to stay in another 5 years just to have the chance to serve directly with him. So there are many on this line as well that would tell you that looks pretty attractive to us as well, because few leaders are finer than Admiral Kozak, and for him to talk about you in that manner, I think says a lot. So it's pretty exciting. Let me just mention one thing, though, kind of on that note that I'd like to take time to recognize. And as we pin those anchors on you, we ought to all recognize the significance of that act. I'll share with you that in my 35 years of Navy service, no honor or award, no ribbon that I wear has been as special to me as becoming an honorary Chief Petty Officer. And I still remember when Command Master Chief Gary Campbell took my oak leaves off at the Chiefs Club in Mayport. I was XO of a DUG there. He threw them into the ocean, and they then made me part of the Chief's Mess as an honorary chief. And for me, there could be no higher honor. And so, for the members of the Chief's Mess attending today, wherever you are, let me just stress to you that in our dynamic and evolving environment, our sailors are counting on all of you, and Chief Dominguez, you now as well, more than ever, You keep us connected from the keel to the bridge, from the stem to the stern. And I know that in our current fight with the coronavirus, this deck plate leadership is what's going to make us win. It's a little modified, but you can bet that where good things are happening, you'll find that there's a chief that's got their shoulder to that stone, pushing it uphill, and it makes a huge difference. So as you look at stepping up in the face of all these challenges, I can tell from your performance, you have excelled and you will excel. What we will expect from you, as well as every other chief wearing those fouled anchors, is leading from the front each and every day. That's where we need you. I'm certain that's where you're going to be, and I'm certain that you are looking forward to joining this team in this fight. And let me assure you that you're joining a team that is in good shape to do it, and they are pushing hard every single day. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You are very welcome. So let me now turn for a minute, though, to your family, right? Because that's what's helped get you there. I cannot tell you how excited I was to learn that you're part of a dual military couple, that you're there in Lahore, and that, as we look at how both of you with the family have been keeping safe and getting the job done, really during a time period that has unprecedented challenges. Your creativity, your ingenuity, and that drive, no matter how difficult the task, that just makes me proud to be able to call you shipmate. So to all those family and friends, thank you for your continued support of Kimber. It is certainly true that our sailors would not be nearly as successful without your continued support and the love and care that they receive and that we all receive from our families and friends. We can never thank you enough. We can never recognize you enough. And so on behalf of U.S. Navy, let me just say thanks. While she's standing up there, you have been right behind her all the way. So Chief Select Dominguez, as you don the anchors of the Chief Petty Officer, you must understand that you are an outstanding sailor, but now more will be expected and more will be demanded of you as the Chief. You are more than ready. You've got all the tools that you need. You've got all the support that you need. And I'd like to just again say congratulations for a job well done. But what I'm most looking forward to now is watching what you do as you put on that combo cover and as you don those khakis and as you lead from the front. So I know that you're going to make us all proud. There is absolutely no doubt. So I look forward to calling you Chief. I think I've awesome people throughout this, but I most look forward to actually getting there and seeing you at the tip of the spear and then watching you in action. So shipmate, congratulations, well earned, well deserved, and again, thanks for the honor to be part of this, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vice Admiral No. I would now like to introduce the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Russell Smith.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, McClellan, how are you?
Good. You seem very stiff, so I'm going to give you something to think about for just a minute. So you're an AO, and you may or may not know I started off my career as a weapons technician, which is a somewhat defunct rating, but a lot of us WTs became AOs, and there's something that you guys got wrong. Are you familiar with the term or the acronym IOYAS?
Yes, McClellan.
So I need you to repeat after me. Can you do this?
Yes.
If you are ordnance,
If you are ordnance,
you are super.
you are super.
That's what it means now. Alright.
Copy.
So, CNP, sir, thank you for giving me the opportunity to to speak. I really appreciate this. It's hard to follow that, especially a North Carolinian storyteller who could spin such a wonderful tale and bring it all home the way he did, especially at the end, because that's kind of where I was headed. I'll tell you, he loves dual military couples because frankly it's cheaper. He can keep you both in one spot. And a two for more is a win for the Navy, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you, Kimber, for bringing it home for MPT&E. This is the only, sorry, I'm old school, I use the old term. This is only the second time that we've had one in the family, and I'm still in the tribe, so really excited to see that sort of talent recognized, because we do have an enormously high amount of first-class petty officers, and often hand-selected or carefully screened first-class petty officers. So we have really good, carefully screened people, and out of that crowd, you rose to the top, and it says something about who you are and the talent that you have. Being a weaponeer and understanding and have that affinity, as well as you being a Chucky B sailor, I was really excited to get the opportunity to talk to you this morning. I kind of thought after they read the letter of appointment they would actually take your anchors on, but it doesn't matter. They've read the letter and you are a chief, so here we are. And with that, you have to understand that the parading of this is over. The anchors that you'll soon have on your collars, none of us own these anchors. They're not ours. We're given them for a time, and we're caretakers of them. And it's our job to carry them along until we can pass them along to somebody else who will take care of them in similar fashion and rise to the occasion to carry them the way they should be. But it's important to remember that we don't own them, that this is an institution that we are a part of, and that we have a sacred obligation to care and look out for those things because of what they represent, because of what they mean to the junior sailor who looks to them. And in recognition of the fact that you stand there, you probably looked up to somebody who was wearing anchors of some sort, and they probably made a phone call to your detailer, or talked to your CO, or talked to your section leader, or sat down to share some knowledge with you, or did something to you. Hundreds and hundreds of people have paid into you over the course of your career and have put you in the position you're in, because none of us gets advanced, or none of us makes chief. We get advanced based on the things that people have done to help put us in that position for it to happen. And now, because you have been so recognized as having that talent and ability, your job now is to pay it forward and to earn this and be worthy every day, because every day is a blank slate. No one cares what you did yesterday. Every day you have to get up and prove to the world that you are worthy of the opportunity that people have handed to you. And I'm sure you're going to do it. Someone with a resume like yours doesn't show up on our doorstep accidentally. Use that opportunity. Use that ability that you have, that you've already demonstrated, that you've shown us that you have, to the benefit of the people around you, to your peers in the mess, to us as chiefs, to the officers that you work for, and most importantly, to the sailors who work for you. And please, do not forget the junior officers, because that ensign, lieutenant, JG, lieutenant that you have is someday going to be a CO or a 3-star admiral, or maybe even a CNO. And the kind of attention that you pay to them will come back to us in one way or another, for better or for worse. So it's not a secondary mission, it's a second mission that we have to raise our junior officers. So I know you're going to crush it. I look forward to getting out there and seeing you in person, because we will. We're going to get out to see all the sailors of the year. I owe you a coin and a moon and a handshake, because this is not the way we're supposed to do this. But really excited that we are figuring out how in this COVID environment to still make this happen and recognize you appropriately and get those tags on you. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mick.
Booyah. If you are Odex, you are super. Booyah.
Thank you, Mick Smith. Chief Reg will now read the Chief Petty Officer's Pledge.
I, in
the Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. I serve my country and her people with pride and honor. I seek no special favors. I make things happen and do the best I can do. I'm charged with leadership role like no other in the world. I develop junior officers and mold my sailors. I acknowledge full responsibility for the actions of my sailors, because these sailors are the seeds of future Chief Petty Officers. I live by the Navy's core values of honor, courage, and commitment. I set the example. I establish the standards of performance. My sailors are students, and I am their teacher. I guide and influence the lives of these young men and women. In the final analysis, I will determine the quality of these sailors. They look up to me because I treat them with dignity and respect. Because they need a leader, I am there for them. After all, I am a Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy.
Chief Cody will now read the meaning of the fouled anchor.
The fouled anchor is the emblem of the rank of the Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy. The fouled anchor has long been the symbol of the Chief Petty Officer. In terms of the Chief, the fouled anchor symbolizes the trials and tribulations that every Chief Petty Officer must endure on a daily basis. Attached to the anchor is a length of chain and the letters USN. To the novice, the anchor, chain, and letters only identify a Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy. But to a chief, these have more noble and glorious meanings. The U stands for unity, which reminds us of cooperation, maintaining harmony, and continuity of purpose and action. The S stands for service, which reminds us of service to our God, our fellow man, and our Navy. The N stands for navigation, which reminds us to keep ourselves on a true course, so that we may walk upright before God and man in our transactions with all mankind, but especially with our fellow chiefs. The chain is symbolic of flexibility and reminds us of the chain of life that we forge day by day, link by link, and may it be forged with honor, morality, and virtue. The anchor is emblematic of the hope and glory and the fulfillment of all God's promises to our souls. The golden or precious anchor by which we must keep steadfast in faith, courage to abide in our proper station amidst the storm of temptation, affliction, and persecution. Side boys, post!
Chief Select Dominguez will be pinned by Ensign Dominguez and Chief Amanda Stone. Her sponsor, Chief Greg, will present her cover. serving in the Navy today is a sailor, from the newest recruit to the most senior admiral. Everyone is your shipmate. However, only a few are selected to the rank of Chief Petty Officer. As you have heard, the Chief's prestige, responsibility, and importance is unlike any found in the other armed force. Our commitment can be best stated in the reading of the Chief's Creed. Master Chief Brown will now read the Creed.
During the course of initiation, you have been caused to humbly accept challenge and face adversity. This you have accomplished with rare good grace. Pointless as some of these challenges may have seemed, they were valid, time-honored reason behind each pointed bar. Your faith in the fellowship of the Chief Petty Officers was necessary to overcome these hurdles. The goal was to instill in you that trust is inherent with the donning of the uniform of a chief. Our intent was to impress upon you that challenge is good, a great and necessary reality which you cannot mar you, which in fact strengthens you. In your future as a Chief Petty Officer, you will be forced to endure adversity far beyond what has thus been far imposed upon you. You must face each challenge and adversity with the same dignity and good grace you have already demonstrated. By experience, by performance, and by testing, you have been advanced to Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. And only in the United States Navy, the rank of E7 carries with it unique responsibilities and privileges you are expected to fulfill and bound to observe. Your entire way of life is changed. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you. Not because you are an E7, but because now you are a Chief Petty Officer. You have not been merely promoted a pay grade, you have joined an exclusive fellowship, and as in all fellowships, you have a special responsibility to your comrades, even as they have a special responsibility to you. This is why in the United States Navy may maintain with pride our feelings of accomplishment once we have attained the position of Chief Petty Officer. Your responsibilities and privileges do not appear in print. They have no official standing. They cannot be referred to by name, number, nor file. They have existed for over 100 years because chiefs before you have freely accepted responsibility beyond the call of printed assignment. Their actions and their performance demanded respect of their seniors as well as their juniors. It is required that you be the fountain of wisdom, the ambassador of goodwill, the authority in personal relations, as well as technical applications. Ask the chief is a household phrase in and out of the Navy. You are the chief. The exalted position you have achieved, and the word exalted is used advisedly, exists because of the service, character, and performance of the chiefs before you. It shall exist only as long as you and your fellow chiefs maintain these standards. It was our intention that you never forget this day. It was our intention to test you, to try you, and to accept you. Your performance has assured that you will wear the hat with the same pride as your comrades in arms before you. We take a deep and sincere pleasure in clasping our hand and accepting you as a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy.
You'll soon understand what all that means, I promise.
Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Navy Chief! Navy